Made by South Africans, loved by South Africans.
On 947, this is EWN.
Good evening, Monke Zikoko. It's still the leading story this hour. A team of South African police investigators is being sent to France to work with local authorities probing the death of Ambassador Nathi Mthethwa. A 5-officer team led by Major General or Deputy Provincial Police Commissioner for Crime Detection in the Western Cape will work with French law enforcement to support a thorough and transparent inquest. Minister Firoz Kachalia says the deployment reflects a commitment to establish the full facts surrounding the tragedy and to offer support to South African authorities abroad. Alpha Ramashwana reports.
National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola advised Police Minister Firoz Kachalia on the move, and the team will coordinate closely with the Department of International Relations. The investigators will assist in gathering information, examining circumstances around the death, and ensuring transparency throughout the inquest process. Police spokesperson Kamohelo Muhotsi.
The deployment of these investigators reflects our commitment to ensuring that every effort is made to establish the full facts surrounding this tragedy. We will offer all necessary support to our counterparts in France and remain in close contact with the Department of International Relations and cooperation throughout the process.
The team is due to leave soon as South African and French authorities work to establish the circumstances surrounding his passing. For now, the investigation continues, with both countries promising cooperation. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
A group of more than 100 pro-Palestine supporters are gathered outside the U.S. consulate in Sandton calling for the release of Global Summit Flotilla activists. They're chanting pro-Palestine slogans while holding placards reading Free Palestine. The protest follows the detainment of more than 400 activists whose boats were intercepted by the Israeli Navy. They were en route to Gaza to deliver aid. And following an attack at Manchester Synagogue that killed more than 2 people and wounded 4 others, Prime Minister Keir Starmer says security is being boosted at UK synagogues. Addressing Jewish communities in a televised statement, he vowed to do everything in his power to guarantee Jews the safety and security they deserve. An attacker plowed a car into a crowd outside a packed synagogue in Britain yesterday, a Jewish holiday, before going on a stabbing spree, killing 2 people and leaving 3 others wounded. It's a partly cloudy Saturday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Johannesburg drops to an overnight low of 10 degrees, peaking at a high of 22. Pretoria's at 12 and 23, Vereniging 11 and 22. Monke Zikoko, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW. You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High-dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Great show as always, Darop.
Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always.
Great show as always. Thanks.
Great show as always.
Great show as always, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful show, Robert. Thank you so much.
It always gives me pleasure to speak to someone who's got such an insight.
I love the introduction.
Hey, what is show Marawa?
I don't know, maybe you are still calling Mr. Mazuputu, or maybe that does not exist.
Sure, Robbie.
I'm just happy with the selection of the coach. What I've noticed now, these 2 games are so important. We cannot really experiment and say that we do need players that have not been there before as such. But probably now we just need players who's gonna do the job now. And I'm basically sure that the coach now has selected just that.
Just try to win the game. And if you win the game, probably the goal differences will also change. On for us and for our opponents. So let's focus on winning the game.
The focus here, Michael, being the 2 games, one away, one at home, but both at home. What advantage do we gain?
Massive. I think it's the crowd support as well. I've been following Bafana around now for the last year, and the way South Africans are rallying behind Bafana now, I think we can all smell a World Cup around the corner now. I have no doubt that we'll sell out Moses Mabhida and Mbombela as well, and I was there.
Here's a man who is spitting honesty, and he says that they admitted that the team lacked proper record keeping around yellow cards. Now, this is a national team.
Again, nobody did it. Even I didn't do it. And, if the player himself didn't even remember that he had a yellow card in November 23, I think you have to understand that can happen. It's normal. It's a big mistake. It's been a very good lesson for everyone. Now we have maybe 25 people in Safa and in my staff who have a little list with, yellow cards. It will not happen again.
Lovely ball played in there. It's 4. Excellent assists from Vilakazi. South Africa 4, New Caledonia 0.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
It's always very pleasing to start the show and tell you that the legend for tonight is here. Grant Johnson is here. I can tell you many stories about him. He'll tell us about his journey through his entire career and where he is right now. So an exciting one coming up right ahead on Marawa Sports Worldwide, probably brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go!
The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Hey, not such great news, I can tell you, coming through from the Women's World Cup campaign. England launching that 2025 ICC Women's World Cup campaign with a dominant display, bowling South Africa out for just 69 in 20.4 overs. Now, the Proteas' third lowest ODI total ever. So this match that was played at the Basapara Cricket Stadium was purely a masterclass in spin and pressure. Lindsay Smith was the standout, claiming 3 for 7 in just 4 overs, including the prize scalps of Laura Wolfart, as well as Tasman Brits, Marizan Scap as well. So England's bowlers reduced South Africa to 38 for 6 inside the first 10 overs, with Nat Skiver-Brunt as well as Sophie Eccleston also chipping in. Sinalo Jafta was the only batter to reach the double figures, scoring a gritty 22. But the rest of the lineup, well, they crumbled under relentless pressure. And I'm sure they knew, you target Marizan Cup, you're going to get somewhere. And certainly they did. But I'm sure there'll be better days for the ladies. Wishing them the best in the tournament. A quick look at what's happening in England now. The manager, Thomas Tuchel, well, he's confirmed that Jude Bellingham expressed a desire to return to international duty, but was left out of the October squad due to a lack of match rhythm. Now, despite recovering, though, from the shoulder surgery and making 4 appearances for Real Madrid, Tuchel said that Bellingham hasn't yet completed a full match and needs more time to regain full fitness.
I understand your focus on Jude, of course. First of all, he's a very special player. And for special players, there can always be special rules. I get this. But for this camp, we decided that we stick with our straightforward decision to invite the same team. That applies also then for Jude. He has not gathered fully rhythm yet at Real Madrid. He is back in the team. He hasn't finished one full match until now. He has only started one match. So he is at the moment in the period where he gets his rhythm, where he gets back to full strength. Yes, and he wanted to be called up. We had a phone call. There was no issue from that side. He just lacks rhythm. He hasn't finished one complete match, like I said. And on top of it, we stayed to our decision to go with the same squad.
Well, the Liverpool manager, Arne Slot, has offered a candid assessment of Alexander Isak's early form at Anfield, urging patience, though, as the Swedish striker settles into the squad. And speaking ahead of the Chelsea clash slot, well, he acknowledged that Isak's limited minutes and also lack of rhythm stem from the late arrival and also the absence from Newcastle's pre-season setup.
I said to him when he started, the difficult thing will be you will have your appearances, like you just said, but if you add the minutes together, you probably only had 2 or 3 90-minute games. But yeah, that is what we inherited from the situation of him not being with the team in Newcastle. And we knew this before, so it's not an excuse. He already scored a goal. He gets fitter and fitter, but the main thing, he needs to adjust to his teammates, and the teammates need to adjust to him. And the more you play together, the better things will work. There was a great moment, not great because it didn't end up the way I wanted, but he had a great counter movement in the Palace game, where in the end the midfielder didn't see that, and he already played the ball to the right. If he would have seen it, he would have been one-on-one to the goalkeeper. So these are the things you get if you play more together. And playing more together has been a bit harder than last season because of Alexander Isak, because of McAllister, because of Conor Bradley, that Dominic Szoboszlai has played on 8, on 10, on right fullback.
Well, goalkeeper Alisson will not be available for selection on Saturday after picking up a hamstring injury in Tuesday's 1-0 loss to Galatasaray.
Yeah, Alisson is not part of the squad tomorrow, and he's not going to travel to Brussels as well for the national team. So he will be out for Saturday. Hugo is going to train today again, and let's see where he is. And the same can be said for Federico. So we have to wait and see after the session where they exactly are.
Well, the coach has also responded, though, to growing scrutiny around Mohamed Salah's form, acknowledging that the Egyptian forward isn't hitting his usual elite standards, but insisting, though, that his value to the team remains undeniable.
Yeah, Alisson is not part of... I think also over there I see the same as the second part of last season, where he scored 12 goals, 5 from a penalty, 1 from a set piece, so 6 open play goals. So he is part of a team that faces different opposition than the first half of last season. So to make that maybe a little bit more of an insight, if you compare how we won the away game against Man United, where they tried to play out from the back and we took the ball 3 times off them, and you compare that the way United played at Anfield, where Onana only went long, then that is one of the answers why it's more difficult for us to score from open play goals. And Mo has a part of this already. You could see this in the second half of last season and the first part of this season, but now you're focused on Mo, the next time we're focused on Florian, then we're focused on Cody. It's what I'm trying to say is that open play, we don't score as many open play goals anymore as we did the first part of last season.
Well, the Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca has praised the fortitude of Liverpool's players and continuing to perform, though, while they grieve Diego Jota. Now, the forward's death in July at the age of 28 following a car accident came weeks after he had helped the team to win the Premier League title.
I don't think that now it's better to play Liverpool just because they draw points in the last 2 games. It's always a tough game, always a big team. For me personally, the way they are doing this season is, in any case, is fantastic, especially after Jota tragedy. I live exactly the same when I was player 20 years ago, and it's not easy for the players, it's not easy for the club, it's not easy for the manager when you arrive at the training ground and you see every day that place empty. So you have to be very strong, and this is the reason why for me they are doing not good, even better than good, even more, because they are trying to deal with the problem that is not easy. Yeah, I consider them the best team in this moment in England. The reason why is because they show that, and because they won the Premier League. Where we are in this moment, I think we are improving. We are trying to solve problems in terms of find solution. But for sure, I think, as I said at the beginning of the press conference, I think at the end we're gonna be there close.
So the Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has confirmed, though, that Rodri is still struggling with knee pain and cannot consistently play full matches. Now, after missing the win over Burnley, Rodri returned midweek against Monaco, but was subbed off after just an hour.
I know what I'm taking. I know Rodri is safe, and know that Rodri is irreplaceable in many things. But Rodri could not play 3 days before because his knee was in a bad condition. So that's why. So in that moment, Nico Gonzalez, in the 30 minutes he played, for the player who more balls recover in the transition attack defense, and we concede less transition, that with Rodri concede more in the first half, and he was playing. So that is why. And I would love to tell you yes, because Rodri is not in the pitch, we concede the goal. But I cannot prove it that, because I would feel it, Rodri would have been in the pitch. So, but Rodri cannot play in certain moments, maybe 90 minutes for many, many games. And Nico played really good against Burnley. Really, really good. And he's learning, he's improving, and we need him. Because Kova is not ready, and Rodri cannot sustain still yet the rhythm for games, 90 minutes. Make an incredible effort the week against United, Napoli, and especially Arsenal in that way. I try to protect my players, because look what happened in Carvajal in Madrid, look what happened in players for many injuries. He's injured again and again and again.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
I think our FA has got to learn a thing or two from Hugo Bruce.
Well, it's clear. I'm responsible. I'm the coach.
I mean, here's the coach coming out accounting of the blunder.
My technical staff is responsible because they didn't tell me, hey, the Bocho has 2 yellow cards.
He is not excluding himself. He called up the player.
The team manager is responsible. The player is responsible because he didn't say us anything.
Puts the blame on himself and his technical team.
So now everybody knows who's responsible.
But our FA, who are his employers, are yet to even make a statement or come out instead. They don't say anything wrong. They'll rather go and appeal.
It's called accountability. That's exactly what he has been on about.
So stop with it. Just focus on the 2 games you are coming now.
Said you could put the blame on me. Said you could put #MSW. #MSW. Friday nights, always. This is how we do it. About our beloved legends. Pull up your chair. Let's chat legendary stuff. Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Oh, indeed, we're going to be chatting legendary stuff indeed. And that's why tonight we celebrate a man whose gloves once guarded the post with resolve, and also whose wisdom now shapes South African football. What am I talking about here? I mean, from lifting league titles with Manning Rangers in that fairy tale run back in '96 to conquering the game with the Orlando Pirates. I mean, he stood tall under pressure. I don't think much fazed him, to be honest. But his story did not end between the sticks. I mean, he's traded the crowd's roar to coaching. He's been molding raw talent into champions. And that is why today he wears 2 crowns. I mean, he's guiding club goalkeepers and also nurturing the academy's next generation. While also coaching, of course. Bafana, alongside Coach Hugo Bruce. I mean, he's more than just a legend. I mean, he's a mentor, he's a teacher, he's a guardian of South African football and our dream as a nation. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, what an honor. Please welcome the man of the hour, Grant Johnson. Good to see you, sir. Welcome to the show.
Cheers. Thanks, Robert. Good to be here.
Sure. How do you describe Grant Johnson in 2025 on the 3rd of October? What space are you in?
I'm in a great space at the moment, obviously, with World Cup qualification ahead. There's good things to look forward to. It's been an amazing couple of years with Bafana again. So, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to.
What's your feeling, though? I mean, I was just saying to you off air, what an honor. Last week it was Helman Mkelele here from the Bafana as an assistant coach. Now you there today as the Bafana goalkeeper coach. And we just like on the edge of something magical this next week, Durban. And then, we go up north and we crossing our fingers. It's 2 home games, basically. What are you feeling inside? I mean, on a personal front.
For me, Durban is big. I'm from Durban. Yes. I grew up in Durban. I went to school in Durban. So to play there next Friday, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I'm sure there'll be a packed stadium. And if we can get a result there, I think we're halfway to World Cup, So in 10 days' time or 12 days' time, we'll know what's going to happen in 2026.
When you talk about goosebump stuff, and I was saying to, a Zim legendary broadcaster and journalist yesterday, Rob Sharuko, that it's going to be packed simply because of the Zimbabwean population that is in South Africa and especially down in Durban, that it'll almost be split half-half. If South African fans, though, arrive late, they'll open that channel up. We want to try and avoid that happening. There's great brotherly love between the 2 nations, though. But there's no love lost. They're out of it, yes. But for South Africa, it means everything. Just from a playing perspective, back in your days, that opportunity, Grant, that's like literally right in front of you. What would that mean to you? How would you approach it?
As a player, I mean, you got that motivates you yourself. You don't have to motivate the circumstances.
Yeah.
It's about going to a World Cup. if that can't motivate you, nothing will. But big games, obviously, there's pressure. There's a little bit of added pressure now, but it is what it is, and players learn to deal with that. I think club football has helped a lot in terms of players playing in the Champions League. They've learned to play under pressure, and I think we've got a fantastic team that we've built over the last 4 years, and I have no doubt we'll come out with a positive result.
That little blip, and I know that Hugo Broos owned it up yesterday at the press conference. We were playing some of the clips as well tonight. We played them last night as well. And that, for me, just showed leadership. It showed leadership in saying, yeah, we can point fingers and say, oh, team manager this, you that, Debo, why didn't you remember this? But given that leadership that he has shown, Hugo Broos, do you think 100% the players get it, that no finger pointing now? The only finger that we're going to be pointing is, hey, let's go to Moses Mabhida.
I think that's 100% correct. I think what Hugo Broos has brought to the national team has been massive. Just from a player's perspective, they respect him, they love him, they'll do anything for him, and I think that's what the team is now built on. Over the past 4 years, he's created that love in the camp. Players look forward to coming to camp. You can see they get on well with each other. There's a good vibe in the camp, and Hugo Broos has created that.
All right, when we come back from the break, we focus on his career, though, on the field, as we rewind it a little bit, though, because that's what we do every Friday. We celebrate the living legend. And a long time ago, people used to say, guys, listen, what happened to X, Y, and Z player? And I think it was on the back of that we said, you know what, let's run with the legends. Let's celebrate them, give them their flowers while they're still alive. And today, what an honor.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time.
#MSW. Big banks weren't built for small businesses, so we built something better. We made Lula, South Africa's first business-only banking suite. We reimagined banking and funding to give your business more. Like a relationship banker who cares enough to remember your name and access to funding in as little as 24 hours. We're more than a bank. We're Lula. Visit lula.co.za and experience business class banking and funding today. Powered by Access Bank. T's and C's apply.
South Africa, are you ready to switch up your life? Switch Energy Drink is giving you the chance to win one of 20 brand new Omoda C7s and your share of 20 million rand in prizes. Smartphones, cash, shopping vouchers, airtime and data all up for grabs. Buy a Switch, dial *120*440#. Follow the prompts on screen, enter the unique code under the tab of your can, and you could be our next big winner. Go get your hands on a can and switch up your life. T's and C's apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you say breakfast, we say go for the crunch. The Pocomo Crunch that says no to soggy cornflakes. The Pocomo Crunch that is loved by breakfast-eating jawlines countrywide. The Pocomo Crunch that looks at soft cornflakes and says, find another bowl. Yes! Pocomo cornflakes, now extra crunchy and extra tasty.
The Galaxy A36 5G is here. With the latest AI technology, hum or sing a few lines and boom, the Circle to Search AI feature will instantly find the song. Get it now from 329 per month for 36 months on MTN Yellow Plans Core with data to use whenever you want and minutes to call any network. Plus, get a free pair of Galaxy Buds Core with your purchase. T's and C's apply. Visit an MTN store or mtn.co.za now. Today, we make moves. MTN.
Checkers Little Shop is back with 46 new minis. Get one free when you swipe and spend 200 Rand on deals like Twin Saver 2-ply white toilet rolls 24-pack for 159.99 and Clover Butter full cream modified butter spread 500 grams for 79.99. Plus, stand to win a trip to Legoland Dubai. Simply buy any 3 participating products and swipe your extra savings card to enter. Valid until Sunday at Checkers. T's and C's apply.
Mzansi, Powerball is bringing the thrill with the jaw-dropping 110 million Rand estimated jackpot this Friday. Don't delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 110 million Rand jackpot today and step closer to a world of endless possibilities. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529 hash for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Robson Sharuko.
Good evening, my brother. Good evening, South Africa. Rob, it's been a while.
Can hear in your voice you are well and fit, so sounding like you're sitting right next to me. Hey, Rob?
Yeah, I'm always sitting next to you in spirit, so nothing changes. You are my brother. I'm your brother. The brotherhood ends, I think, on the 10th when we play you guys, but after 90 minutes, we'll be smiling, we'll be chatting. It's okay.
Your impression of Coach Michael Nias' squad for these qualifiers?
Our results in the World Cup qualifiers are not reflective of our potential as a national team, what these boys can really do. I think there is a lot of disappointment in Zimbabwe that we're gonna face Bafana when we have absolutely nothing to play for except our pride.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW. Friday nights, always.
This is how we do it.
About our beloved legends. Pull up your chair. Let's chat legendary stuff. Marawa Sports Worldwide.
How's it, Robert? Yeah, you got one of the unsung heroes in South African football there. Certainly had a great career. I met him many years ago, many Rangers days, and had a great career. Not only himself, also his family. I mean, the family of goalkeepers, and certainly, his life story is a hell of a story with his mom bringing up all those kids after his dad passed away at a very early age. Great guy. Doesn't get the credit he deserves. He's affected a lot of goalkeepers in South Africa with his coaching. Obviously, as a player, he won the league, and in those days, and won leagues with Pirates and many Rangers and things like that. So he had a great career in playing wise and coaching. He had Ronwin at I think 11 or 12 years old, and had a lot to do with him, his upbringing, and working with him now in the national team. But it's affected a lot of goalkeepers. Fantastic goalkeeping coach, and even a fantastic, even better guy. And Mr. Times Grant that we had together, we always have a good laugh every day about something. And in football, you have to laugh, and we always made a laugh, and had a great time on the field and off the field. And I wish you well, my mate. And I'm glad you've been honoured there tonight, and keep going, and hopefully we can get you go to the World Cup, which is a great achievement in your career. For any coach, player to go to a World Cup, it's got to be the ultimate. So I wish you well, and hopefully the next couple of games go well with Hugo and Hugo. I know you got a tight bond with Hugo and Hellman. It's a great little team you got there, and they've done really well. And hopefully you can get through now after the setback that you've had. And good luck, Granty, and wish you well. God bless, my man. See you soon. Cheers.
Coach Kevin Hunter paying tribute there to Grant Johnson, my guest tonight. And I think he touched on quite a few things there, because I think Gavin knows you more than most. So he'll be able to chat about, the upbringing. And I mean, he does go on and credits your mom for doing such an amazing job. So Mom Sheila, job well done. So you were the youngest of 6 siblings.
Yep.
And it's like a whole posse of boys there, hey? Graham, Kenny, Malcolm, Mel, as well as Wayne. What is that like, though? Because especially if you lose your dad at the age of 3, that's very young. Then you hear stories of what he did and how great he was, within sport or bowls, etc. For you, just put us into the household. What is it like?
So as a kid growing up, there was a sport. All my brothers played sport, and back garden, cricket, football, whatever sport we watched on TV or listened to on the radio back in the day, you'd go outside in the garden and go and play, So I always looked up to my older brothers, and my oldest brother Graham, who passed away in Feb, he was like the legend in the family in terms of goalkeeping. He played for Durban City back in the day. He coached at Amazulu. He had a short stint at Bafana as well. So it's a sporting family. All good cricketers, good footballers. I think any sport with a ball we could play, obviously my dad's genes. That's where it all comes from.
Well, condolences, with Graham, someone who I also knew, especially in his time with Amazulu. He was there as a goalkeeper coach as well. Obviously very hard in a close-knit family like that to lose somebody like him.
Absolutely. He's left a legacy with young goalkeepers. Up until he passed, he was still coaching young kids, and he's passed on a massive legacy in Durban with goalkeeper coaching.
SA Bowls, though. I think that's the story that you were told about, Dad. Hey,
yeah. So when he was young, they lived next to a bowling green.
Yeah.
And he was 18 years old and used to just go play bowls.
Yeah.
And back in those days, it was all just old people that played bowls, and they didn't like him because he'd win every competition. And he ended up winning the South African Championship. They called it the Delville Wood.
Yes.
Back in the day. So I've seen the little trophies, and that's about as much as I've seen, you know. So it's just stories that my brother and my sisters have told me.
You surely planted a seed in terms of that. I always say that if you're gifted like a John T. Rhodes, gifted with any form of ball, like that's how he played hockey so well. That's how he played cricket so well. Was just you got to have an eye for it, and big up to the family as a whole, though. And Mom, what did she make of your success, though? Because you were not just an ordinary player. Your career kind of really took off. I mean, we go back to 96, 97 season. The team from Chatsworth, Manning Rangers, Gordon Egerson. We could tell so many fairy tale stories about that era. But how did Mom see your growth? How did she see you now become not just a son, but a superstar?
Thanks for the kind words, Rob. My mom was extremely proud of my achievements. I don't think she ever missed a game on TV. She'd always phone me, what channel is it on? What time is it on? My mom never ever missed a game. The place that she lived at, she would always tell everybody, that's my son on TV. That's
very proud.
Very, very extremely proud. And right up until she passed, she would always talk proudly of me and tell everybody about me. And it's just the way she was.
But then that's great motivation, though, because having that pride coming through from a parent who's seen you rise up and play a sport that you're so passionate about, again, Grant, says something about you. Just the fact that she's there watching on TV, she might not make it to the games and the grandstand, etc. But was there any particular time or moment where she said, you know what, now I am going to go watch? Maybe it's a cup final, I'll go watch you at the stadium.
I don't think she was more in the background. You know, she was a very quiet person, and showed love to everybody, but didn't say it, and rather stayed in the background and motivate us from there. And she's passed that legacy onto my kids, onto my brother's kids, onto my sister's kids, and it's just a lasting legacy that she's created. We all look back at what she was and how she was, and we all want to be like that, you know. And I think we've turned into really good people because of that.
When you reflect back on Manning Rangers and what it meant to you, just that culture, that ability to do what Rangers did, whether it was a flash in the pan, whatever you want to call it, but you would always go down in history. In the inaugural season of the PSL coming into formation, Manning Rangers, your name will be there forever and ever. Do you think it is celebrated enough? Do you think that maybe we can always go back and say, now we celebrate X number of years anniversaries since Manning Rangers, and maybe bring the collection of players that are there that are still alive? I mean, I know guys like Kieran Jordan, unfortunately, would not be there. He's passed away, and I think several others. Should South Africa not have something like that, just to leave that name to be remembered?
I think the PSL should have a Hall of Fame, call it, or something, you know, that the legacies of the past and the history that the PSL has created from 97. A lot of those days are forgotten. There was a program recently, I can't remember what it's called, but it went back to those days, showing us winning the league title. And that Manning Rangers team, it's something that I will never forget. It was built on teamwork. It was built on the team spirit. It doesn't matter who we were. After a game, we'd go out and have a few drinks and socialize, and we were a family. And it was the whole team. Everybody was together, you know, and that's what we created. Having said that, I see a similar thing with the current Bafana Bafana team. That togetherness, that team spirit, that wanting to play for each other.
Yeah. And I mean, that desire, that hunger that says, you know what, guys, and it was such a multicultural team, Manning Rangers, in the same way that now you see the same thing, and you're 100% correct about the current Bafana Bafana team as well. But the desire, because they realize that when they go to camp with, like, let's say, Ngezan, and how he was much maligned at Kaizer Chiefs, and he would be booed, and now he's got an opportunity to play overseas, and how that has changed his life, has changed, let's say, his income stream into something more formidable. Do you see that desire, though, to use a platform? Sure, Ribeiro is not a South African, he's a Brazilian, went to play in the FIFA Club World Cup. He's gone because he had a fantastic game against Borussia Dortmund. Do you see the Bafana boys as well? Just dipping a little quickly back into that. Do you see them looking at the World Cup as almost like, I need to be there so that the next phase of my life is a big contract in Europe?
Absolutely. I think contracts in Europe are determined by the success of the national team. So back in the day in 96 team that won AFCON, a lot of those players got contracts abroad. Why? Because the national team were doing well. Over the last few years before Hugo Bruce, the national team wasn't doing well, and foreign clubs look at the national team and say, well, if they're not doing well, the players can't be any good. So obviously the World Cup is a big stage for the players. Once we've qualified, I can see a lot of interest from Europe, and I think it's a massive platform for everybody, for the coaches, for the players, for everybody that's involved.
I know it might sound very unfair, but let's throw it out there. With the current batch of players, who do you think really deserves to be out there in Europe playing currently?
Well, there's a couple of the problem with some of the players now. They're in their late 20s, early 30s, so it's a problem for them because obviously European clubs want to sign 21, 22-year-olds where they can make a bit of money out of, because football's become a business.
Yeah.
But I see some of the players should be maybe getting contracts in Saudi Arabia, or I don't know, like a Ronman, for example. Ronman's been the best goalkeeper in Africa for a few years now, and he deserves to go and play somewhere towards the end of his career. And
do you talk about that with him? I mean, like Gavin rightfully said, you've known him since the age of 12.
We've had those discussions, and it's something I'm sure he would love to do.
Yeah.
But again, we've got to qualify for this World Cup, because that just adds an extra tick in the box, to get those contracts.
Good evening to you, Mr. Marawa, the listeners, and your special guest, Coach Grant. I met Coach Grant in 2005 at the SuperSport United Academy. That's where we worked together. He was my first professional goalkeeper coach, and he shaped my playing style. I feel Coach Grant does not get enough credit for what he's done in South African football. As a player, he achieved wonderful things at Orlando Pirates and SuperSport United. The passion that he's got for the game is amazing. Each and every day, pushing the goalkeepers to be the best version of themselves. Match days, you see him jumping up and down on the sidelines, now and then getting sent off. But that's the passion that he's got for the game. In the next 2 weeks, he can add to the history that he's already got by taking South Africa to the World Cup. To you, Coach, thank you for shaping me, for your dedication, for your support. And don't forget, there's still so much for us to achieve.
Sure. The tributes being paid by Ronwen Williams. And when you hear that coming through from a player that you still work very closely with, and he says, I think it's a challenge for both of you. He's the number one goalkeeper right now, so it means everything for him to go to the World Cup. You're the current goalkeeper coach. It means everything for you to also be on that flight. How do you respond to that beautiful tribute?
It means a massive amount to me. Obviously, I've known Ronwen for many years and worked closely with him. And obviously, his achievements, being the Africa Goalkeeper of the Year, being nominated Ballon d'Or, AFCON Goalkeeper of the Tournament, it's a massive achievement for him. And for me to be a part of that, it's just mind-blowing. I honestly never expected comments I get from Ronwen, and it means a lot to me.
I mean, 1 minute you're rubbing shoulders with Donnarumma, the next thing you know, the same room with legends, and then you see him move to Man City, and surely that does something to him to say, listen, I mean, surely this thing is achievable. Yes, he's got the stature, he's a taller guy, and there's always been an argument about why didn't Itu go and make it great? Was it about his height? Was it about this and that? Where do you think, if there's anything that Ronwen falls short on? Because surely in terms of ability, there's nothing that I see.
No, there's nothing. I think sometimes in football you need a bit of luck as well. To get those big contracts, you need a bit of luck. I look at the goalkeepers in Europe. They are not better than Ronman. Even when Itu was playing, he should have played in Europe. Top quality goalkeeper. I worked with him as well in the national team. And fantastic goalkeeper. In my mind, they're a lot better than a lot of the goalkeepers I see week in, week out playing in Europe.
And this got Rob Moore as an agent. Surely Rob knows how to maneuver, eh?
Hi, Robert. A great choice always. Oh, what a legend. Grant Johnson. Robert, he was one of the best goalkeeper that we ever have. Unfortunately, I think, for me, I don't think that, did he play for Bafana? But he was a great goalkeeper, Robert, from Manning Rangers. He went to Orlando Pirates, where he won the league and BP Top 8. It was, for me, I think it was one of my best goalkeeper at Orlando Pirates, because that year we wanted the league so badly, and I think he delivered. Him and Gordon Engisand, after Orlando Pirates last won the league in 1994. He came in, him and Katin Larsen, Chikoya, your Gordon Engisand and himself, and we won the league in 2001.
Yay! Bringing us good memories as well. That's what I encourage you to do. Send us your WhatsApp voice note 060-708-0484. Otherwise, call us directly in studio 011-883-8947.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Hear that? That's the sound of the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco 2025, and you could win double tickets to the opening match. Simply visit Total Energies, fill up with 750 Rand or more of Excellium fuel, or top up with Quartz engine oil, and you're in the game. So join us as we celebrate the spirit of football together, and let's make Africa the home of the beautiful game. Exclusive to club members, valid 30 September to 17 November. T's and C's apply.
If your car's reliability matters to you, book your next service or repair at Bosch Car Service. We train our technicians to world-class standards. That's why our work is guaranteed. And we only use high-quality, premium spare parts that come with a warranty. It's all for your peace of mind. Just Google Bosch Car Service to find a workshop near you and book it in. Bosch Car Service, for everything your car needs.
Hey, Laura. The unmistakable voice of jazz and soul returns to South Africa, Gregory Porter. Join the two-time Grammy Award winner for 3 intimate performances now at Teatro Monte Casino on the 20th, 21st and 22nd of November. Don't miss one of the greatest voices of our time, Gregory Porter, live. Book now at showtime.co.za in association with 947.
A voice artist telling you about the Rocco Mama's triple treat with southern fried chicken tenders, a new school smash burger and fries, waffle and ice cream for just 149 Rand. Normal. A Maskandi disco artist singing it to you. Not normal.
Chicken telling a smash burger. Smash burger. And I'm as a man again, your message as ice creamy. As a number waffles, I
Rocco Mamas. We're not normal.
Hey Country Fresh lovers! Your favorite blueberry cheesecake flavored ice cream is now available as a limited edition Tropica. To celebrate, Country Fresh is giving 250 lucky shoppers the chance to win 2,000 Rand every day. Buy any Country Fresh ice cream tub, scan the QR code or dial the USSD and keep your till slip. T's and C's apply. Competition valid till 25 December 2025. Country Fresh, from scoop to sip.
Smooth, creamy, Country Fresh.
Go for extra with our new extraordinary plans from Vodacom, Mzansi's winning 5G network. Get the Samsung Galaxy S25 FE 256 gig for only $599 per month over 36 months on our 1 gig Red Core plan. Plus, stand a chance to win a Samsung 100-inch 4K Neo QLED TV valued at just under 100,000 Rand. Available in-store and online. T's and C's apply. Further together, Vodacom.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Zimbidab.
People have to stop now also to look for who's responsible. We all know that we made a mistake.
Extraordinaire Michael Morton joins me. A busy time for you, hey?
I love covering the Bafana and the PSL, and it just seems to be heating up now. So yeah, things are pretty busy at the moment.
What stood out for you at that press conference?
How bullish I suppose he was. He doesn't believe that Benin will get 6 points. Yeah, that's quite a statement to make, I think.
Your first impressions when you saw the squad, what went through your mind?
I thought strong squad. Very happy to see some faces back.
Anybody who was left out, Michael, that you believe maybe could have had a chance?
I think if anyone could be slightly disappointed, probably Zuko, who for me was phenomenal against Nigeria.
Those are choices you make, and the choices sometimes are difficult to understand for you.
#MSW. #MSW.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa, and good evening to the coach and the legend, or Mr. Grant Johnson. Mr. Marawa, I only got two questions for coach, because I was a big fan of him as much as I was still young when he was still playing, but I could remember the moments in his playing days. There was a goal that was scored, I think it was Mose Ajao. They were playing Chiefs. What I want to know, what was going through his mind, because when you look at it distance, Mose Ajao, which was at that time, and looking at Grant Johnson, it was very difficult for a goalkeeper to concede that long-range shot. What happened there in that goal? And lastly, what I want to know is that how we managed to be at a club level as a goalkeeper coach and being responsible also to Bafana as a goalkeeper coach. How we manage to balance in that situation. Thank you, Mr. Marawa Kutro, as always.
Thank you so much. Balancing the two, but you know what? I think both of our reactions when he talked about Musi Ajao and that goal, and we all remember that goal because it was something crazy, one for the books. What happened?
Yeah. Anything said on social media about Grant Johnson, that goal comes about. It's going to be with me forever. No one will remember the saves, but they'll always remember the goal. But it got goal of the century, by the way. But yeah, it was from a long way out. I think at the time I was still busy talking to my defenders and not expecting him to shoot from there, because who's going to shoot from there? It's crazy. And he managed to hit a bullet and went in the top corner. I went for it, but I was probably a couple of seconds late. And before I knew it, was in the back of the net. One of those, I think it was a great goal. Others would disagree.
Great goal. Hey, Musi Ajao. Guys, memories come back, eh?
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Fulafang here, and good evening to the MSW shoulders. And good evening to the legend, Coach Grant Johnson. And firstly, on a remarkable career, congratulations. I don't think a lot of people have really given you your flowers on such an immaculate impact that you've made, especially in the goalkeeping department. Currently, at the moment in South Africa, you know, whether people want to talk about it or not, there is a current crisis where there's not a lot of young goalkeepers that are really taking the fore, you know, particularly in the PSL. Have you thought of maybe starting a goalkeeping academy? You and fellow, you know, former goalkeepers, you know, like your Spider Baloi, you know, those goalkeepers that have been there, done that at a professional level in the PSL, just come together and just make a goalkeeping academy, just so that there can be a plethora of goalkeepers that a lot of people are talking about at the current moment. Yeah, sure, there's Fletcher Smith-Lowe. He's doing very well, kept a clean sheet in the Under-20 World Cup last night. But I mean, you know, just from him aside, and maybe just a couple of more that we don't get to hear of, have you thought of, you know, trying to start maybe a goalkeeping academy? Great show as always. Thanks.
Ulufalang, thank you so much indeed. Goalkeeping academy?
Yeah, it's definitely something I want to do. I'm actually in the process of getting that going, because there is a shortfall of goalkeepers. If you look at the PSL, 16 teams, I think 12 of them have foreign goalkeepers. So it's a massive problem. You don't see any youngsters, 19, 20, 21-year-olds coming through to play in the PSL. And that's a massive problem. It's also a massive problem with the national team, because you've only got 3 or 4 or 5 goalkeepers to pick from. So it is a massive shortage in the country. It's something that I want to correct. It's something that I want to do. It is a passion of mine. I can produce young goalkeepers. I know I've got the ability to do that, and it's definitely on my to-do list. It's something that's going to happen in the next 6 months.
I would allow you to focus on the World Cup. Post the World Cup, you're going to come back here. Let's work out what that plan is all about and see who's going to be willing financially to put their money where their mouths are. So I think it's a great idea, much needed in South Africa. Also, just looking at the comments that are coming through on social media, I got one coming through here on the YouTube channel. Remember, we are live on the YouTube channel, so you can actually have a look and say, hey, what does Grant actually look like in 2025? So I got a question here from Spoon Doobs who says, please ask the legend on the nature of the relationship with Gordon Nigerson. Are they still in touch? That is coming through from Umlungu. Well, let me say good evening to Gordon Nigerson. Gordon, good evening.
Good evening, Robert. How are you?
Long time no speak, sir. Just honored to have your voice come through and honor the legend that's sitting here right in front of me.
Yeah, without a doubt. Grant, how are you, son?
Good, thanks, Gordon.
Grant, if I can say a little bit about Grant, Robert, he was an absolutely amazing person, first of all, and a character. And, the days, I can remember the 1996 days, I'm sure he will remember those days. There's so many stories I can tell you about Grant, and Manning Rangers in those days. I mean, we went on 9 games, not many people know this, and I'm sure, Grant, you'll remember it. We went on 9 away games in a row, and we won 1-0. And we were under pressure for 87 minutes of those games. We scored 1 goal, we just defended, and Grant Johnson was just a lone body at the back and just saving everything, hitting the post, knocking onto the post, saving us. And we went through 90 minutes of absolute hell, and in the day we ended up winning 1-0. And Grant was amazing, and he's continued. I'm so happy that he's continued with his career and doing something that he loves. He's done a magnificent job with Ronwen Williams and other goalkeepers, of course. And Grant, it's a great honor and pleasure to be here talking to you tonight.
Gordon, at Manning Rangers, what would you say? Because it was still the younger version of Grant. It was still the younger version of a George Komantarakis. It would still be a younger version of many of the players. Was he one of the naughtier types?
Well, yeah, I can, but I don't think this is the platform to talk about whether he was naughty or not naughty. But Grant was a very, very naughty boy, but a good boy. Not naughty in the sense of anything wrong, but just naughty, like a cheeky naughty, And all the players were like that in actual fact. I remember we went to play, I think it was in Morocco somewhere, and the guys put my bed mattress, they made it wet as hell. I think we won 1-0 against Roger Casablanca. And they made my bed so wet, and I got it, and they all jumped out laughing. I don't know if Grant can remember that. It was, it was that kind of fun, So, but more importantly, Robert, if you talk about the player as a footballer, he was dedicated, committed, wanted to do well. Marshaled his back four, no nonsense, got players to do the right things, and he was a magnificent member of our team.
Maybe a quick thank you. Such a beautiful tribute coming through live with Gordon Nigerson. I know he's just at a function. He stepped out to say those kind words. A quick one from yourself, Grant.
Yeah, Gordon, it's, I owe everything to you in my career because you signed me. I was playing striker at the time, and you signed me at Delvers and Kelly's to come and help up with the goalkeeping. So, we just grew from there. So you coached me for 10 years. And at African Wanderers, the Hobson Callies, Manning Rangers, Orlando Pirates. So, I owed you a lot, and I'm very thankful for what you did in my career.
Grant, it's been an absolute pleasure to have players like you. You can remember the Pirates, the episode at Pirates when you and I were slightly attacked on the field, heavily attacked on the field, and people were moaning about this and that and didn't want this and didn't want that, and you just handled yourself so professionally and just got on with the game. And it was absolutely amazing having you, Grant. And I don't think you even realize how loved you are in the country, because your name comes up all the time, and you've carried on doing this magnificent job with Bafana. And I just want to wish you all the best and your family. And we've had some great times. I want to thank you for those times.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Gordon. Thank you very, very much indeed. Good to hear your voice again. Robert. Have a super weekend.
Thank you.
Wow. Hey, voice that we haven't heard of in such a long time. Well, from one legend to another.
Mr. Marawa, good evening to you and the listeners, sir. Can I just say that you have a true gentleman of the game as your esteemed guest this evening? And why do I say that? Well, the memories just automatically came flooding back. I remember Grant and I started off our playing days as big rivals in the goalkeeping space, and it almost makes me emotional to say that in the end it's become one of my greatest honors sharing the coaching stage with him. He's a man who comes with remarkable experience, and I do believe, and I've spoken about this in the past, that this is a man that is very, very disrespected in the coaching fraternity in South African football. He is a legend of goalkeeper coaching. In fact, I believe in my heart of hearts that the association, for one, and I also believe that the big stakeholders in the game needs to build this man a platform that will see him head up goalkeeping on a national level in South African football. And why do I say that? Well, his record speaks for itself. The reason why Bafana is doing so well is because of his contribution to goalkeeping and how he's navigated the top goalkeepers like Ronwen Williams, Ricardo Garcia, China, and others who are trying to make their mark in our national team. He's got them working at the highest level. And I believe that if this man can be given the platform to coach coaches in the goalkeeping space, to coach goalkeepers in that space, I believe that our goalkeeping will be in a much better place in the future. So I take my hat off to Grant Johnson. He's a stalwart of the game, and I wish him all the best because he's one of the reasons that Bafana are doing so well at the moment. God bless and enjoy the show.
Yeah, bravo. Thanks so much, AA. Andre Aronson there paying tribute to you. And I think I echo a lot of what he said about you not being given all the credit. Everybody's been saying that. But we signed an agreement here off air. We've signed a contract, an NDA, that you will, post the World Cup, come through. Let's work on the challenges. Let's see the academy come into fruition, and let's see what partners can happen. We can strike the deal right here on the radio show.
I think it's a massive need in the country. But again, thanks for the kind words from Gordon and Andre. It means a hell of a lot to me. But yeah, what Andre is saying is key to goalkeeping. Him himself was a goalkeeper coach and one of the best in South Africa goalkeepers we've ever produced in South Africa. Played in England. So I think there's a platform for us to do it. Again, it needs some type of financial backing. Sure. Because these type of things don't come for free, so I think it definitely needs to be done. And like you say, post World Cup, it has to happen.
Yeah, we'll have a fireside conversation here and there.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to the legend. Rob, you are talking to a legend who had a stellar career, played all his games with so much character and determination. Grant, I just want to find out what goes through your mind when you watch Ronwen Williams play, knowing that you have contributed to the development of this beast of a goalkeeper that everyone is talking about globally. And is Evo Sport goalkeeping still running? Because that program also contributed to the development of amateur and professional goalkeepers. Because of your skills and knowledge about the specialist position of goalkeeping. One being the boy who up here from Orange Farm, who played and assisted his school to even reach the K Mutsepe finals last year for the under-13s, making brilliant saves. I do also have a picture of the boy with you training in the rain, and that says a lot about the passion that you have about goalkeeping profession. Thank you so much,
Tebogo. Thank you so much. Piwe, I'm sure you got some memories of.
Yeah, so Andre Aronson and myself were running a program called Evo Sport at one point, trying to develop goalkeepers. The issue that we had with it is that obviously our time constraints with coaching professionally, and also the financial obligation. You're traveling around trying to coach these young goalkeepers, and the problem is you don't have the numbers. So if you're coaching an outfield team, you can have 30 kids running around, and you could earn some type of income. But a goalkeeping is a specialist position. Maximum you can work with is 8 at a time. So it's not really financially viable, which is a problem. And to get sponsors is not that easy.
No, definitely not. And that's why I'm putting my head on the block, and I repeat over and over again, guys. And we do have, only 251 days until the groundbreaking FIFA World Cup 26. That's how close we are to our dreams coming true. I mean, this is a man who's recently gotten himself the UEFA C license in Scotland, in Edinburgh. who continues to better himself in so many different ways. So if you have any doubt about the caliber, not just from him as a player, he played striker, but we ended that career pretty quickly. We wanted him as a goalkeeper, so that's what he's done. And Sean, and I might not have an opportunity publicly to wish you everything of the best, Grant, as far as the journey to the World Cup is concerned. But I think if we do, it'll be a bonus. If we don't, you'll be at the World Cup. I'm sure that's what goes through your head. Just as a final word to all South Africans right now on the threshold of such an important couple of days, starting off on Friday next week.
I think it's important for the country to get behind us. The last 7-8 games we've played in South Africa, it's been sold out stadiums, and that's what we need. It's the 12th man shouting for us, supporting us, and it's a massive thing for us to know that the country is behind us.
All right, spoken from a man who's part and parcel of that camp. We are very, very proud of him. Like we said, there's still so many voice notes and so many people wanting to sing your praises, but we'll do that another time in another day. But all we're saying is that you got our full support, and go out there, go do this thing, man. It's in your DNA. We just want to be at the World Cup, and I'm sure South Africa wants to be. Best of luck, Coach.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for having me. It's been a pleasure being here.
You can tune in again on Monday, Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Let the game begin. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.